Hello everybody and welcome back to another devlog. It's been a while. I planned to release it every week, but I was sick and couldn't really talk good, so it's releasing a few days later. But I'm happy this came out. Also, I'm happy that the last video got 200 views. It means a lot for me. And thank all of you who watched the video. I've made a lot of progress on Deep Caverns, and I will discuss it here. This will be the technical devlog, which I settled down to talk about math or how I did certain things code-wise, and maybe give you advice how to make your code better if you catch something that you feel like is cool. But if you don't want to watch the technical stuff, you can go watch the shorts version. So first, some changes in gameplay. I changed the input, where in the earlier versions to select a block info you clicked left click, which was mining. I changed it to right click, so when you click with right mouse button on a block, it will show you the information about it. So when you have an NPC and you want some special info from them, you just click right click and go mining, and if the entity has a special position you need to know and don't want it to write down, you kept the information in the box and move on. Another change was in the settings I made, which I'm not sure if I showed in the last devlog, but the settings allow me to set the speed of the player to a certain value so I can playtest much better. I use it a lot when I have some generation experiments, so I can run around the map faster. I will in future implement debug mode, which will show me hitboxes and important things with debug information. And now for the new implementation stuff. The biggest change visually was implementing generation of the terrain. It's of the cave. It's much better. I generated the resources such as copper, iron, stone, which is the main material, and coal. So iron, copper, coal, the main three. I might add some in later, but for now I think it's more than enough. How I did it is pretty simple. In my function getTile, I generate values for iron, coal, and copper. They are the same as the cave generation, however I multiplied by famous constants like pi, Euler's number, and etc. I then divide them by some number again, pass it to the getTile function, which isn't clean. How I use the if else block. I will implement some system that will make it cleaner, but for now I think it's good enough. And another implementation change, which isn't visual but it's for me to not get insane in later versions, is adding the event system, which allows me to queue things. For example, I can queue some event that's immediate, so when I mine a block, I queue the mine block event, which will happen the next tick. So for example, if it's multiplayer, I can queue more events at once. Five players mine one block, I mean 5 blocks at the same time, 5 requests. It happens in one tick, and it's much cleaner than doing it in code. Then in the event class I also implemented delayed runs, which after X amount of ticks happen and then never execute again. So for example, if you want to smelt things, you can add a delay of 1000 ticks, which is approximately 1 second, and it will smelt it, delays, and you have it. I also do schedules, which work by executing every X ticks. I also refactor the items, which have been a mess, and I convert them into JSON files, which are much cleaner. Then I also implemented the system manager games-based system, which works by creating a abstract class and applying it into a different systems, for example building system, smelting system, etc., which will help me in future development. That will be probably it for today's video. I'm implementing more visual stuff in the next devlog for sure, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day.